Hello. I'm going to do top five. Top five, let's see, inks of the year. I kind of went back and looked at all the inks that I'd been using and which ones I used over and over and which ones and one kind of ink that I didn't use as much, but when I was having a hard time of things, I went back to it as my comfort ink. And that, so it's got to be in my top five. And I think only one of these, which is the comfort ink, would have been in a previous one. This is Cult Pens Deep Dark Red. I had I had a sample, then I had the small bottle, and I had the big bottle. I love dark reds. Like if I could be a color, I'd be a dark red. And this, to me, is kind of my perfect dark red. Let's find. And I remembered water and all the things. I think I'm going to put this over here. I'm having coordination issues. You'll notice that throughout this video. In fact, let's take this out of the leather cover. I'm kind of trying to come up with ways to use the rest of the pages in this book. I may just have to cut some out and, put them in a ring binder. Because I can't be letting... This is good sandstone from Sterling Ink 2023, I think, undated. 2020. Yeah, 2023. Okay, so this is Diamine Deep Dark Red. And it's just such a gorgeous red. Like I often hear people in their videos say, oh, I don't really like red. I love red. I don't know if I like the bright reds. Like I've got Diamine Poppy and I've never had any desire to ink that up in a bin. All right, so the next one, this one I used quite a lot, Diamine Grape, and I seem to be this ink's cheerleader. I thought for a minute that Kaweco Summer Purple was going to, unseat this as a favorite purple, but it didn't. This color, like I tried Diamine Damson and it just, why do I keep closing the lid? It just wasn't as good as Grape was for me. I think I may have dinged this glass nib a bit, which is upsetting because I do love this glass nib. I'm just going to have to micro mesh it. This is Diamine Grape. And it's wetter than Diamine Deep Dark Red, which is so strange because I found that oftentimes purples can be quite dry, but Grape is not. And next we have Sailor, and I think this is a Urameku, but and I do this in every video. I'm like, I think, and I'm going to look it up, and then I never look it up. So I'm just going to say Sailor, hana-gokoro. And I love this ink because it goes down blue, and actually really, really pretty blue that I'd be happy with for a blue, but then it kind of dries. Wow, that's way too much ink. Come on. I want you to be able to see that it went down blue. Okay, so it goes down blue. But it dries to like a purple. I've been in a purple mood lately. I just am liking all the purples. So this is Sailor hana-gokoro. Now when I bought this, I meant to buy date-gokoro, and I was kind of bummed out at myself for having bought the wrong one. But now I love this one. I really, really do. And let me just, actually, I've got it in a pen. Why don't I do that with what I've got in a pen? Where's my pen that has it in? I find myself often putting it in my Esterbrook Cobalt. All right, so can you see how it's blue? Kind of, it starts out blue and then it dries to this. See the difference? I find that fascinating. I want to know how they did it. And then it just shows up different on different papers as well. So for the gimmicky factor and just the color, I like the color of it. It's kind of turns out to be a bit of a dusty, plummy purple. The next one is not going to be a surprise to anybody who's ever watched my channel. I actually don't have this inked up right now, and it might be upsetting to me. And it may not last long, but oh, what did I just do? Did you see that? I dropped it on there. That's not going to be right. Okay, this is Birmingham Pinco's Sandstone. And I kind of, when I first got a sample of this, I got a sample thinking, okay, this can be a replacement for Pilot Irashizuku Ino, which I have plenty of, but I'm afraid to use. That's going to change next year. I'm not going to be that I'm afraid to use my stuff girl. And I thought, well, because this will be available. It's been out of stock for ages. So now that I'm at like to here on my bottle, I'm not giving any more samples out. Because this is such a good color. I just like it. It's like kind of a greeny, brownish dirt color. All right. And so the last one in my top 5 is actually kind of 3. So what happened was I got a sample of Journal This Pinked, and then I think they were out of stock on it for a while, and it's from a store in the Netherlands called Journal This, but I fell really hard for this ink. But then I found out that it was pretty similar to Pennsylvania Fieldstone, and so when I got Sandstone, I got this as well because I was thinking I'm not going to be able to get that. But then I went to the Dutch print store and got this, and then Jane sent me a pin in a giveaway that had Kitsune Hippiori in it. And these are kind of all of a, color. Now watch, I'm going to swatch them out and they are not going to look kind of all of a color. But this one I do have inked up right now. How am I going to fit all these? Oh, don't. Okay. I'll just write with the pen. And it's just, I actually had a pen made to go with this color of ink. That's how nutty I am. So this is Journal This Pinked. And then we'll do so they're not exactly, but it kind of gives off the same really kind of dusky, dirty pink vibe. Pennsylvania Fieldstone's a little bit more purple leaning. Yeah, I can feel this nib digging. That's an E. All right. And the last one is, I think this one's a little bit kind of browner, if I'm remembering correctly, but I'm happy with any one of these 3 in a pen. I love them all. They give me the same feeling. And to close the thing. So even though they're not exactly the same, they kind of work in the same way for me as favorites. When you swatch them out, they've all got this dirty, brownish, slightly greenish tinge to them until they dry. All right, I am going to speed this up, use my dryer thing, pause while I do it. Okay, we are back. And Diamine Deep Dark Red, it's got a little bit of a gold sheen to it. I'm not sure if you can see that maybe at that angle. I usually put this in an extra fine nib, so it does end up looking just like that. Diamine Grape, it's just such a pretty purple. Hana-gokoro, now look, it's coming out of the bin looking a lot purpler than it is in this swatch or this writing. That's kind of reddish. It's such a weird ink. It's almost like you just never know what it's going to do. Birmingham Pinko Sandstone. Love this ink. And then these are number 5. So I would say that Sailor Kitsune Biore is closest to Journal This Pink, which was my first love. And that Pennsylvania Fieldstone's a little bit more purple. Though in this sample I had first had of Pennsylvania Fieldstone, it was kind of closer to these two. So this is just what I got in the bottle. But I love all 3 of them. You know, I get that kind of dusty pink vibe from them. And that's it. Those are my top 5. Thank you. Bye.